The untold story of Lord Rothschild's part in creating Israel, secrets, scandals, and the banking dynasty. Today, we're going to take you back to the dark side of history where power, conspiracy, and the building of nations meet. This man, who is both silver-haired as well as enigmatic, has connections with all these things. However, they span many countries over many continents. What we want to know is, did his family also help shape Israel's fate? We're going to tell secrets, so hold on to your hats. And don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Let's start the video. Historical context. Amidst the disorder of World War I in 1917, the Balfour Declaration was created as an agreement from Britain to aid in making Palestine a homeland for the Jews. But underneath its surface appearance, this simple piece of paper held within it a network woven from threats spun by power, manipulation, and concealment. A letter was authored by the then Foreign Secretary of Britain, Arthur Balfour, to Lord Walter Rothschild, who was connected to the famous Rothschild banking family. Great Britain was committed in this letter to establishing a Jewish national home in Palestine. This move was significant as it meant settling individuals in a land already occupied by Arabs. The Rothschilds were not normal bankers but had a lot of power. This connection with the British nobility gave them the ability to make important choices in secret ways. Lord Rothschild didn't just get a letter from Balfour like any other lord would. He got it as someone who was on his side in a big way. The Rothschilds were not only powerful in finance, they also had an interest in politics, diplomacy, and intelligence. Lord Rothschild knew all about staying in the background. He believed that real influence was exerted through secret deals and hidden connections. Some people think that the Balfour Declaration wasn't driven by a desire to help others, but rather by a desire to score points in international politics. During the war, Britain needed all the friends she could get, and the goodwill of the worldwide Jewish community was essential. The Rothschilds, with their extensive international connections, were particularly important. Did Lord Rothschild control events, or was he controlled by them? We may never know for certain. However, what we do know is that after the Balfour Declaration, the name Rothschild became synonymous with the birth of Israel, a connection that is destined always to remain shrouded in mystery. History was made in secret meetings and hidden signals, a story full of force, conspiracy, and whispered partnerships. Even now, the resonance of Lord Rothschild's actions can be felt as they have determined the future of the country. The interview. Imagine yourself in a shadowy room with large chairs and a camera on. Lord Jacob Rothschild is leaning forward while his eyes confess that he has hid many things in his life. The interview commences as a rare opportunity to find out more about the dynasty that has controlled the destiny of nations. Lord Rothschild says that his legacy means more than just money. He shows through his voice that he feels like he's carrying around hundreds of years. In other words, it means having the ability to change how powerful people think and make them see things differently. When talking about the past members of his family line who were involved in financing countries, starting wars, or giving advice to kings quietly, he asks where they were when Israel was being established as an independent state. Significance of the Balfour Declaration? Lord Rothschild asks by leaning back with his narrowed eyes, showing thoughtfulness. It was a deliberate action, he says as he recalls how his family's relationships in the field of British politics worked together. I must confess that I knew Arthur Balfour personally, declares the man before continuing. We had our hands in every part down the street at Downing. This move is nothing more than chess. A pledge to support a Jewish homeland in Palestine, written down as the Balfour Declaration, was also made. However, it was only told behind closed doors that the Rothschilds would say, "Support us, and we'll bring Jewish communities together worldwide." It was a move on the political chessboard, and it secured historical heritage. What's with all the secrecy? The interviewer wants to know. Lord Rothschild looks directly at her. Power loves darkness, he states. We dealt with dangerous waters, spy rings, secret codes, and what was our purpose? To make sure that the chessboard was set up for us. Therefore, the Rothschilds balleted with fate. The story was influenced by their riches and connections. Although, was Israel formed by them? The eyes of Lord Rothschild are full of enigmas that reverberate through ages. Impact and controversy. There is an earthquake in history when the disclosure that the Rothschild family might have had a hand in the establishment of Israel becomes public knowledge. Now, we're going to explore what it means as well as the disputes that come with this acknowledgement. The geopolitics board of chess involves the movement of pieces, the alignment of powers, and the intersection of fates. The contest began with the Balfour Declaration, which promised a home for the Jews. The alleged role played by Baron Lord Rothschild adds a different dimension, being a covert move that has an impact across ages. They say, with great power comes great responsibility. The Rothschilds were extremely powerful in many different ways, financially, politically, and through secret means. Their history isn't only found in buildings, it can be seen in treaties, whispered agreements, and coded messages. Did they create Israel or just make it possible? This is an argument that has been going on for quite some time now. People who criticize the Rothschilds say they took advantage of an opportunity in history when they could have immortalized themselves. However, there are also those who praise them for being very good thinkers who came out with the plan of having a home country. We demand to know why there is so much secrecy. In the conversation with Lord Rothschild, he dropped some suggestions about concealed intentions, coded information, and obscure groups. Was it patriotism, the desire for success, or something more sinister? Move forward to now. A country arises named Israel from fighting wishes and pledges. What Lord Rothschild said isn't just something learned in history. It keeps being heard in the quarrels we have today and also in our debates on who we are. Let's delve deeper into this, find out what the experts say, and then decide for yourself. Did Lord Rothschild control everything, or was he just another victim? Look inside ya. There are clues stored away there in memories long sealed out with silence and dust, waiting only until now to be brought out into the light of day. A very powerful family that is known as the Rothschilds has had a great impact on history. A question that bothers historians is whether they played a part in shaping the future of Israel or simply made it possible for others to do so. It was highly important when the Balfour Declaration, which was influenced by Lord Rothschild, came into being. Some people argue that they were only ambitious while others believe that it was their duty. The reality still eludes us all these years later, but one thing we do know for sure is this: every single Israeli settlement or conflict today bears witness to what those five brothers started in the 19th century. And so, while we continue our searchings and wonderings, let us not forget, there are stories within stories which shape our world. Sometimes things are not what they seem at first glance. That said, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep searching, keep asking questions, and remember, there is more to the shadows than what meets the eye. We will see you in the next video.